We are back. Contender Series Week 6, bets and predictions and breakdowns. I'm your host, Picks by Pegasus, JV, key 3 picks. We're going to break down this card. It's actually a decent card because you look at it, lines are actually close for once, and you look at the records. What did you say the records was, Mike? 70, 79 and what?
And 4.
So 79 and 4. So everyone's pretty good. Some people are padded. Some people may not be. That's why you're here, because we're going to tell you who it is. This is actually a fact. Right now it's getting out of hand.
You always have excuses. So
let's get it. Piezo, thanks for joining us. Champ, thanks for joining. Matey, what's happening? Jackson, what's going on, bro? All right. We can get right into this card. First fight of the night is it's Cody Chovancek versus Raphael Uchegbu. Uchegbu, I believe the name is. Let me do this. Share screen. Line on these two gentlemen. Uchegbu is minus 155. Cody Chovvanichek is plus 135. So, do you want me to start on this one? Do one of you guys have passion about this? Or do you want me to go?
You can go first. Kiki said, let's go.
All right. So I'm going first. So if I had to pick a side, I'm picking Raphael Uchegbu, 10-1. I think he's the better striker here. I think he's got good knees. He's a long striker. Good jab's okay. He's a good fighter at distance. I think he puts combos together. I think everything adds up over time. Grappling is good. Mixes up upper and lower body takedowns. Good transitioning. Good ground and pound. Has a bunch of subs. Active off his back. That's going to be crucial here because he could end up on his back. Cody, on the other hand, he's just one of those guys that just doesn't fuck off and pushes forward. If you go back and watch his last fight, I think it was against Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard is another fighter like Uchegbu, where he kind of is a taller guy, keeps the range, fights behind the jab, everything like that. And we saw Cody kind of get picked apart and struggle. So I think as long as Uchegbu strikes that range, punches the jab, throws in leg kicks, he'll find probably a decision win. I don't see him really finding a finish here. But yeah, Cody's definitely not I don't want to say this is one of those fights that Cody's definitely not out of the fight. I could see why people would want to bet Chovanichek at plus odds if they want to. He's kind of got that dog mentality. But for me personally, after watching the last fight, I kind of saw similarities, and I was like, all right, at minus 150, fine. Uchegbu it is. What do you think, Key?
Yeah, I've been doing tape all day. I was late on everything, so I've been doing tape all day. This is the one fight that I haven't completely finished, but I have taped both sides a decent amount. Cody's last fight, I believe that was I think it was a robbery. I don't think they deserved to win that fight. And I don't think that was the ugliest loss ever or anything, but he just looked like he didn't have answers to anything. I believe he missed weight in that fight. That may have something to do with the weird performance, and it just seemed like he was flat the whole time. I haven't seen much outside of that fight. I've seen, I believe, one or two other highlights of some shit. But I haven't been able to do deep tape on his side. On the Raphael side, I think that he's solid. He stays active. He has volume. He's long. Questionable fight IQ on the mat. And that could come to bite him in the ass here and make this fight a little closer than it needs to be. But I think that Raphael's solid. I think that he could win against some of the lower tier guys in this weight class in the UFC. But I don't think that either guy here has some bright UFC future.
All right, Drop, how about you?
Yeah, it's kind of a hard fight to predict. Honestly, I'm going to tell my notes. I have a lot on this one. The fight of Uchegbu, it's the Ruiz fight on PFL. It's a bad look, right? Because takedown defense didn't look good. His get-up game didn't look good. But honestly, to his credit, he came out late on that fight. He looked good in round 3. He was putting it on this dude. And he looked like he improved since then. His takedown defense got a bit better, I think. And then, his striking got way better in his last couple of fights, I'll say. His jab is really nice. When he decides to throw and unload combination, he's actually pretty nice with it. The thing is, he doesn't engage a lot, and he can be too patient at times. But he has a very good cardio, and he has a good submission game, Raphael. But yeah, the issues are he can be, play BJJ off his back, can be taken down. But I also like his counter shot, which I think could be a good weapon here in this fight. He has fight at 135 and 145. This fight's going to be at bantamweight. I think his striking is good, honestly. His kicks also got better recently, like the body kick and the head kick. He does throw them way more than he used to. He got hurt in the Rodriguez fight. He got hurt with a head kick pretty bad. He got wobble, but he went to the grappling right away, stay composed. So you love to see that. 1 year and 4 months layoff for Raphael coming back here. So just something to note. He's a UK guy, looking in really good shape. So he's the type of guy that when he hit Paddy looked pretty good, but in the cage he just doesn't do anything sometimes. But when he goes for it, it's nice, especially the jab. He doesn't throw it a lot, but sometimes he can go. He does gonna do like a double jab, triple jabs. So yeah, I think he's pretty cool, but he has clear flaws to me. Cody, on the other end, I think that he's the more likely of the two to shoot takedowns. I think his timing on his takedowns is pretty good, honestly, with the way he blasts double leg, but his top control is not really good. Both guys have good BJJ, by the way. Cody, really good scramble. But again, he's not.
Cody kind of just wings punches in like a 1, 2, 3, 4, gets close and then shoots a takedown. That's kind of what he does. He doesn't really set him up well, I don't think either.
Yeah, the way he shoot takedown is good because he blasts a double leg when people overextend. He did it a couple times in the fight that I've watched. Yeah. I think his wrestling is cool, honestly. It's just his top control is not really good. He's going to be a bit smaller, but I think they look similar at face-off. I was kind of surprised. I think Cody, by the way, is in way better shape this fight than he was in his last fight. He missed weight, like I think 136.6 or something for his title fight. And like you guys said, it was not a good look. He got busted up. He was getting hit a lot. His striking defense is really poor. And I think that he's going to be at a speed disadvantage here. But yeah, good knees, decent combo in the pocket, and also really good cardio, and he seemed pretty durable. The Jake GoPro fight, I think it's a bad look, honestly. I think that he lost that fight, but that guy was much bigger than him. And that guy is fighting Akim Dawodu next, so I don't know. But it was a very close fight. I thought that he lost. He got hurt a little bit in round 3 against Howard. Didn't look good in that fight, again, and he missed weight, like we said. He's decent all around. I'm not impressed, but he's decent, honestly. But considering that he doesn't have the best top control, and I think the fight might play on the feet for the most part, I'm gonna favor Uchegbu just being, the sharper striker, the faster guy. And I think that Cody, because he's so hittable, and he's gonna be right there for Raphael counters, and that could be a good weapon. But Cody can maybe wrestle here and make it close. Both guys very tough and very good cardio, so probably a decision, close decision. But I'll lean to the Uchegbu side. But yeah, it is a close fight, so I don't really mind a dog shot if you guys like it. But personally, I think the line is probably fine around minus 150 Uchegbu. That's what I think the line should be.
Oh my god. Okay. Couch Warrior, thanks for joining us, bro. What's up, Glenbot? Oluwajuwon, Dream, what's happening, bro? Cole, thanks for tuning in.
What up?
Daz, how's the finger, brother? How's it feeling? Hit the like button. Appreciate that. We'll get right into this next fight. All right. I mean, this guy, a Korean middleweight, South Korean middleweight, jacked with tattoos. Looks like he's made.
He could be the good, honestly. He looks like a superstar when you look at him, don't you think?
Yeah, he looks like he looks the part, but too bad Paddy's gonna box his face off.
Nah, I think he's the goods.
Yeah, right. All right. Hwang versus Paddy McCorry. Line these two gentlemen. McCory is minus 250 now. He's got steamed. Hwang is plus 210. Key, I'm gonna have you go first here. Are we taking the Hwang, or are we taking Paddy McCory?
I think this is a easy Paddy spot, but These type of odds, I'll pass on playing a guy like Paddy. I don't think that either guy's good, but there's levels to being shit, and Hwang is like at a different level than everybody else. Like he is at a different level. It's insane. Guy has no process, no anything. He just comes forward, brawls. If he's not actively in an exchange, he's just sort of looking at you with his chin up in the air.
Heavy leg kicks too.
Yeah, I mean, it's Paddy should if Paddy. I mean, and I get it. Paddy's not great. The Israeli guy that he just beat is awful, and Paddy didn't put him away. But Paddy's at least fighting like halfway competent guys. The UFC seems to like him a decent amount to bring him on tough, and then to now bring him back for Dana White Contender Series. Hwang, I believe, is here based off of the Korean Zombie connection. I'm sure, but I think that Paddy's a better guy. Should have him covered everywhere outside of a stupid brawl. It is Dana White Contender Series, so maybe Paddy gets dragged into some and he gets clipped. But I have bigger guy, more skills. I think that he's the side. I don't think that either guy's good though, but Paddy should get it done, and he probably gets a finish. If he just stays on it long enough, I think he gets a contract.
You guys think Hwang's gonna be out there with a T-shirt on?
That shit was funny.
Peg, do you know what I'm talking about?
I missed what you said again.
Do you think Hwang's gonna be out there with a T-shirt on when he's fighting?
Yeah, right. I know
So you don't know what I'm talking about. You didn't do your research, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw it all over Twitter. The guy fought with a T-shirt on. I saw that.
Oh, on Twitter, right? So you didn't want to taste that.
I got you. Is it relevant? No. Paddy's gonna box the bloody bullocks off him. It's gonna be straight. It's gonna be so easy. You're gonna be like, why did I not bet this guy? I said that this morning when he was minus 180. Said I was too busy with work to keep this podcast afloat.
You were too busy to tell me. Is that what you're saying?
You know what? That's it. Everyone parlay him. We're all parlaying Paddy. The Paddy parlay starts now. We're parlaying him with a leg that comes later.
I think Paddy's going to box his head off, honestly. I mean, the size difference is insane here. Hwang is like a 5'8" middleweight or something. Paddy's like 6'3". Also the speed difference is crazy, especially in the pocket. Hwang, the way he strikes, it's not that. I don't think his striking is like terrible, but the way he strikes is the way he does some good things. Like his right hand is decent. His strike right hand. Peg, lock in. We're not watching other stuff. We're doing a podcast. But the way he throws his right hand is good, and his calf kicks are decent. Decent head kick. But bro, he's so hittable. He doesn't move his head. He doesn't throw in combination. And the fact that he got knocked out in like 5 seconds, you rush in face first into the punch. It was crazy. He has another fight that's like at heavyweight or something, open weight or something. I don't know, man. I don't think this guy is it. Honestly, he doesn't pass the eye test for me. And I have the eyes to spot these goods. Korean, I've made a lot of money on them this year. I don't think this guy is it, honestly. Paddy, like you guys said, he's not the best fighter, but when you lose minute or when you lose his fight, it's because people are grappling him. Even Valentine, he cracked Valentine bad in round 1 in the pocket. He hurt him. Valentine, took him down with the judo throw and subbed him. And even another fight Paddy had, he was losing like 2 rounds, and then he got a guillotine in round 3. That guy was winning with the wrestling. I've never seen Hwang shoot a takedown, so that's not going to be a problem here. And at the end of the day, Paddy's just the better striker, the bigger guy, the faster guy, the more powerful guy. And I think that Hwang is so hittable, and the way he rush in the pocket, he's getting counter against bums. So I think Paddy is going to be faster here and find the kill shot, honestly. And if somehow Paddy want to grapple or something, I think he could. And he has a good guillotine, so all the grappling upside, bigger guy. And just a better striker, honestly. So I think he should be a big favorite. But I play minus 180. What's the line now? It's minus 245. So it's not it's not the best, but maybe a KO prop for Paddy could be good. His submission game is okay, but it's only a guillotine. So if that guy doesn't shoot and Paddy doesn't shoot, I feel like they're gonna swing, and I'm gonna trust him to find a kill shot on this dude. Yeah, Pepe just said Valentine is not great, but I mean Valentine is better than this guy. Let me tell you that. And the way Valentine rush in the pocket, too aggressive, and get caught with Paddy because of the speed, the same thing's gonna happen here. Hwang does the same thing with his chins up in the air with no defense, and yeah, I just think that if Valentine didn't have grappling, he would have lost. And this dude doesn't have grappling. Um, yeah, honestly, it could be an any round. I think it could be an any round, but he's probably gonna find the kill shot.
Dennis thinks he's gonna knock the tats off. PSO says, levels of being shit. Definitely Hwang his ass. Paddy is a huge fraud. Yeah, but this is a battle. This is like a battle of who's worse.
Yeah, he's not gonna be like anything special, but he's better everywhere than this guy, and he's bigger. So
yeah, it should be pretty straightforward.
I play minus 180, so I guess it's a different conversation, but I still think he should be a decent sized favorite, honestly.
All right, so we'll just move on. Let's just move on because the next one's a good one. So next fight we have is Tommy Gant versus Adam Livingston. We got Livingston is plus 125, Gant minus 145. This is like the talk of the town. You kind of see everyone talking about this fight right here. Gant's a guy who was a D1 wrestler, pretty good prospect all around. Livingston's a guy out of Nassau with Ray Longo, who's a unit now, Ray Longo. But, that camp, Longo MMA always has good fighters coming out of it. So we'll see. Right now, like I said, Livingston plus 125, Gant minus 145. Drav, do you think this fight goes over 2.5 or under 2.5?
I think over, honestly. Not like too confident, but I think it goes over. It's just a matter of fact. Do you think that like Austin's gonna catch him? Because if you like Austin, not Austin, Adam. If you think he's gonna catch him, then that's possible because we've seen Tommy Hurt in his last fight. Obviously, he got dropped against that that bad fighter, which is not a good look. We all know that. It's the talk of the week. We know that fight was at 185 pounds. He came in at 175. He took that fight, after he had another fight 1 month ago. He had a lot of fights scheduled, so he's just running and fight after fight. I think he has 16 fights, amateur and pro, since 2023. Pretty fucking crazy if you ask me. But yeah, I mean, again, getting hurt by that guy is not a good look. Whatever I want to put it, it's not a good look. But, you got to take down and you got to finish. He's shown that he can fight through adversity, but still not a great look. Now he's fighting at 155, where I think he should be fighting at. He fought a bunch of 170, 185. Because he had a lot of fights and he was just trying to get experience in MMA. We know this guy is a really good wrestler, a D1 wrestler. I've heard people shit on his wrestling. I don't know why you guys are shitting on his wrestling. To me, his wrestling, especially when he goes for it in the clinch, his chain wrestling is really good. And the way he picked people, I don't care if it's bum or not, the way he picked those guys up and the way he slammed them to the ground with how strong he looked to be in those positions, this guy can wrestle his ass off. And I think that his wrestling has translate well into MMA personally. And I like that he has the wrestling to do it for 15 minutes. And I think that on top, he doesn't have the best top control, but his ground and pound are really good ground and pound. Again, you can say, yeah, it's against bad competition. I do get it, but that guy throw those ground and pound, whatever you are, if you're getting a hit like that on the ground, you're not going to like it. And his submission game is not really high level or anything like that, but he does have a submission game if you're not careful. It's just, front choke or just basic submission. He's not like a BJJ guy or anything like that. But, he can take you down and, yeah, maybe you're going to get back up, but he's going to take you down again. What I like the most about his game, is wrestling, but outside of that is his clinch game. And I've not really heard people talk about it, but his clinch game is phenomenal. The elbows and the knees that he throw in the clinch is fucking crazy. I'm telling you guys, he's strong in the clinch, but the way he clinch is crazy. I was talking to Nick Picks, and he told me like kind of remind me a little bit of John Jones. I was like, yeah, I can see it. Not like that guy is the next John Jones, but the way he was working in the clinch with the elbows and the knees, you can see it. He's really good with it. He's really nasty with it. He's really creative with it. I think that's one of the best part of his game. Now, where he lacked and where it could be an issue is that distance striking, because he's okay with his striking at distance, but you can see that he's not comfortable. Not really been tested all that much in the striking at distance. And Adam, I think his striking is good, honestly, at distance. He has good boxing, but it's not like it's not like he's fought the best guy either. His last fight, I think it was against, a decent guy. The guy took that fight on like with less than 1 week notice, and he looked fine, but again, he's not beating the best guys himself on his resume. So yeah, you can say, oh, Tommy is only fighting bums. That's true, but that's a step up in competition for both guys in here. And Adam, I think his takedown defense is good, honestly. The way he's proud is very impressive to me. But again, if you're getting taken down from like the clinch and in close range with like body lock, trip takedowns, you're not gonna have the opportunity to sprawl when you defend takedowns. And I think the way he defends takedowns with the sprawl, that's like his best attribute. And I don't think Tommy's not the type of guy that's gonna shoot like blast double leg or something like that. So I think the wrestling could be a little bit different. And I've seen Adam taking down against, less bad competition. Not to say he's a bad defensive wrestler. I think his wrestling defense is solid. But again, he's never been tested in the wrestling against a high-level wrestler like that himself. So on the other hand, we can say Tommy has not been tested in the striking and he got hurt. That's true, right? And that could happen here. He can be hurt, I think, at distance. Adam, I think his striking is solid. He could hurt him. But if he doesn't hurt him, and if the fight's in the clinch or on the ground, which nothing tell me that Tommy's going to stay out here and strike at distance. He never does that. He's going to look to be in the clinch and to be on the ground. And when I have a guy that can decide where the fight take place, that can take you down, that can whip in on the ground and win in the clinch, I think Adam's going to need to like kind of fight a perfect fight, stay at distance all the time and try to land a big shot and hurt Tommy, or put him out. If he doesn't do that, I think that's going to be hard. I think that's going to be hard for him to win over 15 minutes. And I think that Tommy cardio is really good. And training with DC now at DC camp, which is probably good for his style. As we know, DC, with his academy now, he's training with these guys. I'm gonna let he talk more about that part because he knows more than me about the training of that fight. Let me just check my notes. See, I didn't miss anything. Let me just see. Yeah, so Adam's a BJJ.
Do you want to write your notes in English or French?
My notes, they are in English, so it's easier for me to when I write my breakdown or talk about it.
Yeah. No, I was curious.
And every term in MMA, when I talk to my friends or just my girlfriend, I always talk in like English for like the position or just the strike and all that. In French, I don't even know like how it's called. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, Adam, really good at finding a shot in the pocket. That's what I said. But his defense is not the best himself. He can be cracked there himself. He looked to have a good chin, but there's a fight. I don't remember which one is it, but he's getting hit a lot. His face is bleeding a little bit. But he's going to be in your face himself. Like, I think his striking, like I said, is good, but he's not really a one punch type of guy either. So again, to me, it's Tommy. I think the line is a bit short. I think that his potential in MMA is very high. But yeah, if he get cracked, if he die, I guess. But when you have that type of wrestling, that type of cardio, and with an insane clinch game like he has, I think that he can have a bright future. He's 32, so it's now or never for him. And being with DC, I think this is going to be good for him. Yeah, I'm curious to know what he's going to have to say about this one.
Key, what are you thinking? I'll just do mine quick so you could spend more time. Tommy Gant's aside for me. I like the wrestling. I like how he puts everything together in MMA. I think it's now or never for him, being that he's 32 years old. I'm pissed I missed that early line, but I do like the over because odds are if Tommy Gant wins, I do think it's a grind out decision. And if that's the case, that's there. And also, both these guys are like tough fighters. Like, we're not watching anyone like, yeah, sure, he got hurt at 185, being 175 pounds, but both these guys are tough. I'm not really sure I see a finish here, to be totally honest with you. So over at plus odds, easy click for me, especially if it's going to be as competitive as everyone's making it sound. What do you think, Key?
Yeah, this is a really interesting fight. And I can understand both sides here. Personally, I went into tape knowing of Gant through some personal experiences and stuff, and really was Excited to get to tape. But I started off tape, like, and I texted a group chat about it, but like I went through the whole tape without seeing his like last fight. And that to me is like low key probably the most important to take away from this. In terms of Gant as a fighter, I think that like if he was 25, I would be talking about him like he's the greatest prospect I've ever seen in my life. Like I think that the way that he wrestles and blends in the clinch striking, the knees, the elbows, he's creative. And I get it, the John Jones, it sounds crazy on paper, but like look at some of the tendencies, you can see flashes of that. And I think that he's just simply getting into the sport a little too late. He acknowledged it in an interview and said he said himself that he spent too much time on the wrestling scene and should have just made the transition to MMA way faster. And I think that would obviously long term, it would have led to a lot more success for him. But I think that now we get sort of a rushed career. I mean, this guy's booking fights ahead of time before he even wins. His manager's just booking shit 2-3 fights in advance, and you're just kind of rushing your development and your growth as a martial artist. Now, I will say I think that he's just insanely gifted. I think that his cage wrestling is legit. I know Livingston has a great sprawl in the open mat, but shit gets tricky once you get up against that cage, and Gant has a deep bag of tricks, in my opinion. Some of the trips, I mean, the wrist control, I mean, it was beautiful stuff. But honestly, I think that his BJJ is lacking a little bit, and I think that he would make his life so much easier if he were to just settle in some spots and use his lower half to lock in body triangles, get hooks in, etc. I think that his control would look way better if he went that route. But instead, he's all in on the ground and pound and inflicting as much damage as possible. And it's obvious that his cardio is good. And I know that he hasn't been tested, blah blah blah, against anybody real. But I don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to look at this guy and see that his cardio translates. So I don't think that cardio.
Bro, I think his cardio is like very, very good.
Honestly. I think that that's one of his biggest traits that will translate to the UFC if he gets a contract. I think the cardio is really a major part of his game. But I think that the guy has a great style. He pushes guys to the cage. He mitigates risk by not staying at a distance too long. Once you're up against that cage, you're kind of just in a cycle of trying to get away from this fucker, and you can't. So I think that poses some different threats. As for Livingston, Pepe's in the chat going hard for his guy, thinking that Livingston is going to make it look easy and all this stuff. And I could see a scenario where that happens. Livingston knocks him out round one. But I don't think that Livingston is very good, like much at all. I think that he's too young to be here. I still see a lot of green in his game. I think he's just green overall with his footwork. He gets sloppy whenever he gets in extended exchanges. And I know that I believe in his interview, he said that he's been fighting or doing mixed martial arts training since he was 16 or so. I know that he went through college and all that, got his degree, and was training that whole time and taking fights at that same time. But the kid just talks like really reckless. I think it comes off as immature to me personally. And it's just kind of wild. He's talking about, the UFC wants me to win. That's the reason why they gave me Tommy Gant. Even though Livingston is the guy who signed second for this fight, they gave Gant this date and didn't even have an opponent for him yet. So I think that kind of lets you know who the UFC thinks is the A side. But Livingston just talking shit and just random stuff, it just seems immature. And his game feels a little immature to me. I think that he could up his volume and use his length a little bit more, but instead he sort of it can come off as measured maybe, but I don't think that it's the most educated striking game in the world. He does have real pop and real power, and I think that is the trait that translates to the UFC level right now. But I'm not really impressed in between moments. Like, I'm really not. It's not like he's feeling space the greatest. He does have solid hips, and it looks like his takedown defense is going to continue to get better. But Gant's a different level of wrestler. I think that I could see an iteration in this fight where Gant puts him in the wash cycle for 15 minutes and wrestles the fuck out of him and grinds them out. And I can also see where Livingston clips him, because in the last Gant fight, that was really, really concerning. One, that's the first time that we've really seen him get touched up. That's one of the first times that we've ever seen him really take a clean punch, and he did not respond well at all. He got hurt twice. First, he got hurt and was stumbling for a second. Then second time, he got dropped. And he was in the woods for a while. Like, for a while, he was stumbling around. And that's against a guy who's now 5-10, hasn't won a kickboxing, boxing, or MMA fight since 2022. And that guy's an unserious fighter. I mean, Alaskan MMA. So to get dropped by an Alaskan MMA jobber in front of your family and friends when this was supposed to be another setup fight for you, that's bad scenes to me. It's not like he's showing a bunch of head movement. I do think that his jab is clean and he's a good athlete, and I believe that that's the reason why his striking has looked decent at range offensively. But his head's not moving off the center line that much. It's not like he's evading punches and showing this nuanced boxing game. He just has the basics, and then he clinches you and tries to throw you through the wash. I can see Livingston getting space, forcing more of Gant's flaws to come out. I think defensively, he's still not there. And you're 32 years old. Getting chinned like that, that's tough. That makes me think that you might be a little fragile, honestly. And so I know that he doesn't have the miles on him, but he also hasn't been in these wars. He hasn't taken those shots like that. And so it was really concerning to see that. And so for that reason, I'm not betting Gant, and I'm passing on the fight. I do lean Gant to win because I do think that from a technical standpoint, I think he's just a more skilled and athletic fighter. But Livingston hits hard as fuck, and Gant doesn't seem like he's going to be able to take shots cleanly at range. So every moment of separation feels like you're living in the danger zone. So if Gant isn't smothering him, you're living in the danger zone. And that's just not a bet that I want at minus 145, minus 150, I believe it is right now. So for that reason, I'll pass on the fight. I do lean Gant to win. I'm rooting for him. But there's some red flags on that side. Livingston's cardio. I think the Livingston's cardio is kind of suspect, honestly. I don't think that it's that great. Like I said, he struggles to fill space a lot. And I think that he can get dragged into sort of a slop fest where Gant is washing him and Livingston just isn't able to get off the amount of separation that he needs. So I think that Gant has the cardio upside here, the wrestling upside. I got to see him take a shot from somebody real. There's just too many unknowns for me to be here at minus 145 after you just got chinned. And you're taking the next fight right after that. So it wasn't even like he ends off on a good note on the regional scenes. That was his worst fight on the regionals. And now you take that step up. It just feels kind of bad. But I hope that the work at DC's camp has put in some time, and I hope he can get it done.
Yeah, and also for the cardio aspect, like how is that going to look like if Livingston is getting taken down and, ground and pound for a long period of time? Like, I think he could, be the one gassing out and not because he's never been in those type of fight either. So it's just going to be a matter of like who's going to be able to fight their fight, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. And hopefully they both stay tough and stay strong and cash the over.
Peg is sweating that over right now.
Yeah. Everyone's not trusting this guy's chin.
I mean, did you see the fight?
Yeah, but I kind of just figured, people get hit, and it's also a 185er at 175.
But that guy's not a real that guy was was playing around in the octagon. Like, he's not a real fighter. Like, he was turning his back to Tommy. That guy's probably one of the more unserious guys that Tommy's faced, honestly.
Gosh.
Yeah, Pepe just talked about Hugo. I'm pretty sure Hugo was on 3 days' notice for that fight.
Yeah, Hugo's actually a decent fighter. 10 fights in 1 year, 5 months, pad record, 32 years old. Makes it look easy.
Yeah, I mean, people love the underdog.
What's the deal? Everyone loves this guy Livingston, huh? I figured.
I don't think he should be here yet. I think he could be here, but he's not supposed to be here.
Well, he's here because he knows Uncle Ray, the real Unk.
Does he even fucking train with Ray, or are you saying that? Because on his Instagram, I do not see him at Longo, at Law.
What? I thought Ray Longo was with him at the weigh-ins.
Was he?
Yeah, bro, look. Long Island MMA. He's from Nassau, New York, bro. He's from Queens.
Bro, Ray's gym is Law MMA. Chat. Somebody help us.
I
Is Peg being an idiot again, or am I tripping?
Chris Wade, Kyle Seminara. I could have
Long
sworn
Island MMA and Law
I could
MMA
have
are
swore
two
I
completely.
saw Ray Longo standing with him.
This
at the
guy,
game.
man, and this is our New York resident, and not even knowing his New York guys. This is a shame.
I mean, I don't want to know this guy, honestly. After what I see what Tommy does to him, I don't want to know him. How's that?
But Jimmy Drago versus Livingston next. Tell Livingston.
Yeah, banger. Honestly, banger of a fight. I'm there for it. But Jimmy's, I shouldn't even say it. Never mind. He's a great guy. Yeah. So here we are. Yo, Dan, thanks for joining us. Okay. Next fight, Iwo Baraniewski versus Mahamed.
The great Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali. That is the wildest name. That's also not even how you spell Muhammad. So, whatever. Is what it is. 4-0 versus 5-0. Odds in these two gentlemen, you can get Muhammad Ali minus 235. Iwo plus 200. I'll just say this. Watching this fight, I mean, Ali is sick at talking about spelling, man. Shut up. Yeah. All right. Well, I can't pronounce, but I can spell. Either way, Muhammad Ali, very good at jiu-jitsu. We see him doing this ADCC bullshit, winning all that stuff. And for a guy who's that good at jiu-jitsu, we haven't seen him use it in a fight yet. Haven't seen it translate to MMA at all. Doesn't make sense to me. He is pretty good though, from what it's worth. I also think this is kind of a slop light heavyweight fight again. So I'm gonna lean Ali to win, but I have no interest in betting this fight. Job, what do you think?
Yeah, you didn't tape that one a lot, didn't you? What was that breakdown?
That was it. That was my breakdown. I don't really have much to say. I had no interest in this garbage.
What do you guys Ali remind you of? The way he fight and the way he look. A fighter in the UFC middleweight division.
You're gonna say RoboCop?
Yeah, you see it. Yeah, a RoboCop's like an insane grappler that's just want to bang with guys look kind of old, but he's not old.
Oh my god!
Peg, lock in. Dogfather's in the chat. He's gonna tell you if you're not.
I see the fucking cover.
Yeah. So I think this Ali guy, honestly, I don't know if you guys watch his highlights of BJJ. It's kind of he's fucking good grappler. This guy. The way he grapple is really, really impressive, but never seen it in MMA yet. So is that going to translate? We don't really know. But his striking also is kind of nasty. He speak himself. He said that he wanted to have good striking going into MMA. He did some boxing, some Muay Thai. I was able to watch a lot of films on this dude. I know people saying that they didn't watch a lot. I think I found a Muay Thai fight, a kickboxing fight, and most of his pro fight. The Jaron Gooden fight, I didn't watch all of it, but I watched the highlights, and I listened to Dan's show as well. Have the battle, shout out to him. He said that he talked with Jared and he asked him about that fight because they're friends. And basically, what Dan said is Jared said that this dude striking is good and he's dangerous. But to Jared's credit, he took that fight up a weight class, 2 weight class even, and I think it was short notice and he retired after that. But still, Ali dropped him, and I don't think Jared has ever. No, if you look on UFC stat, I'll actually double check that. He's never been dropped in the UFC. So that's him to drop him was impressive. And the way he was striking in that fight, he had cardio for 15 minutes. They didn't grapple. It was mostly striking. And his other fights, he's not grappling either. He's just, I've seen this dude throw an axe kick, spinning elbow, a big head kick. He's nasty with those head kicks. And he's kind of impressive to me striking because for a BJJ guy, normally when we see these type of fighter, they don't want to strike too much. They try to grapple a little bit too hard. They gas out. This guy cardio seems good. He hit like a truck. His head kicks are nasty. What I don't like though is he's hittable and he's a bit slow sometimes. But bro, his left hook is pretty nice. I've watched his striking sometimes, and it's weird because like in some fights I'm like, oh yeah, okay, so that's good. Some other fights I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean clearly big power. The way he throw that left hook to the body and to the head is really nasty. And again, his head kick is really dangerous. This dude now, Iho, this dude is weird because like he has a judo background. He loves to take people down. So he trying to take everybody down and then he ground and pound them. How's that gonna work here? Is he gonna try to take down Ali? If he does, I'm really surprised to see how it's gonna play out, honestly. And if he doesn't try to take him down on the feet, he swing himself. And I think that he's faster with his ends. And the way he strike, with the way they're both striking with like bad defense and reckless, I think someone's gonna get knocked out, honestly, and I think that's gonna be early on. What I'll say about EO, he was much smaller at the face-off. First of all, Ali is a massive dude. He's probably on all the sauce. I mean, he looked fucking jacked, bro. And I've watched some amateur fight of Iho. One of them that he lost in 2021 against that guy. How do I say this name? Kimilovsky, something like that. That guy is 9-2 as a pro right now. He got knocked out. He got TKO'd when he was on top of it. Like that guy was just hitting with some punch from his back, not like hard punch. The ref stopped it, and then he didn't complain. Right, he was done. So that was sketchy to me, honestly. I don't know what to think about it. That was sketchy. And again, his style is taking people down. So I don't think he's gonna do that here. And if he doesn't do that, someone's gonna get knocked out brutally early on. I like the under here. I think that someone's gonna get served, honestly. I think Ali's gonna be the one to do it. I think his power is impressive, and he's the much bigger guy. But like I said, he's fast, especially with the boxing combos when you go for it. And Ali's hittable, and he's kind of slow sometimes. He doesn't move his head too much. So I could see him getting caught. I think someone's going to get knocked out, honestly. But yeah, I'm really interested to see if someone go to the grappling. If Ali go for a takedown, I'm really like excited to see what it's going to look like. If you look into his BJJ, like he fought a lot of guys. Like Buchecha was in the UFC recently. I think he has a win over Dylan Dennis. He has like a lot of fight, but a lot of these grappling competition, he wins by points, by decision, but it's again like really good people. But yeah, excited for this dude, Ali. I think that he could have an eye ceiling himself, but I have a feeling that he could be like the next Robocop in the sense that he's gonna put people out, but the way he strike doesn't move his head, a bit slow sometimes. He can be knocked out himself, I think. So we'll see. Interested to see how it's gonna play out, but I like the under if anything. I think Ali's probably the side, even though it's his favorite. But there's unknowns on this fight still, so be careful with it. Excited to watch it though.
Key, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that like it's weird that they pair these two up against each other, but then we have to watch like Jayota and Almeida's random light heavyweight teammates like fucking put up stinkers against bums. But I think that Ali is solid. I think both guys are solid, but I think that Ali striking leaves a little bit to desired in the defensive category. He's just open. Hands are low. Hands can be wide at times. But he loves that head kick, put two people away with it. And I think that he's solid. I want to see his grappling. I just want to see him grapple in an MMA period. I just want to see what it looks like, see what translates for him. So it feels like we're kind of like there's an unknown in a weird way, unknown with his grappling in the sport, even though we know that on paper it looks and sounds and everything sounds like he's an elite grappler, but we just don't know yet in this context. Iwo, I have to assume, will end up cage pushing and they end up grappling. So I think that we get answers to a lot of those questions here because Iwo tends to do that in every fight. But I think that Iwo's a little robotic on the feet, in my opinion. And I can see Ali finding a KO. I think that he's a more athletic guy. But I can see value here at this line on Iwo. What is this line now? Plus 20. Yeah, plus 200.
Yeah, he's plus 200 flat.
Yeah, plus 200. I think it's dog or pass. I think that I need to know more about Ali before I'm start backing him at those types of prices, especially against a guy that I believe to be pretty competent. It's not like he's facing a bum. If he was facing a bum, it'd be very easy to get to a wide line. But I think that he's finding somebody that's actually capable too. It seems like we're just super early in both of their careers, but the UFC 205 division is so fucking shallow. So these guys can easily make some noise, whoever gets this done. Pick is Ali, but no bet on this fight. Not interested in betting this fight.
All right. Humble Cop, Dog Father telling me to lock in.
Also, one thing that did piss me off on tape on Ali, he plays with his food a little bit. Sometimes he just like does not show the urgency to get guys out of there. And I get it, you're just that much better than a lot of these guys. But I would like to see him just show more urgency at finishing sequences.
So good at jiu-jitsu, doesn't use it. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. That guy got KO'd from bottom. Only ever losses by key lock 2. Ends in KO. I mean, I don't hate the angle. I don't even know. What is the under on this? Under is minus 150. It's kind of crazy to open plus odds. All right, main event of the evening. We got Hecher Sosa versus Mackson Lee. Mackson Lee 9-0. Hecher Sosa 13-1. Odds of these two gentlemen, you get Mackson Lee minus 175. You can get Hecher Sosa plus 150.
I'm shocked. They put on a good main event for the now Contender series.
It's gonna be a sick fight. Also, just a little narrative. Hecher just lost his dad yesterday, right? He died yesterday.
Yeah, I think so.
Crazy. So now the dead dad or dead member angle is in play here.
We don't talk about narrative in here. We just watch tapes and we bet off that.
I mean, hey, listen. There's a famous person who says it's about the intangibles, and this is one of those intangibles. But now,
what are you going to do with that information?
Just know he wants it more. He's doing it for his dead father.
Groundbreaking.
But no, on a real note, let me go. I'll go first. On a real note, I'm on Mackson Lee. I played it at minus 155 on Bovada. I think he's a really good striker. I think his kicks are nasty the way he mixes it up at all levels. I like that. He's great at using his range. He's very dynamic, long jab. Not really a fan of all the spinning bullshit he throws. Sometimes a little bit too much for me personally. Good grappling, crazy front strokes, good ground and pound elbows. He's actually very good at using his length, which is something you need when you're a guy his size. Hecher Sosa, on the other hand, he's got good defensive sprawls when it comes to takedowns. He's got good knees. His movement's fine. He's got good boxing, which you see with a lot of these Spanish guys, evidently, and he's got good power. All those things being said, I think Hecher Lee wins this fight. Front choke's definitely there. We've seen Hecher in front chokes in tape before, so that's a possibility, but that's kind of my analysis on things.
Hey, I'm shocked. So you did watch the tapes on this one. I love it.
I locked in. I locked in because you know what? I'll go on a little tangent because you know what? I haven't won a fucking Dana White Contender Series slate this year. I won one, week 4. Other than that, they've all been L's.
Yeah, I'll be honest. You caught me. You caught me off guard. I didn't know you would know that this dude has been in front choke before.
Yeah. I will say he fought out of it also, though. That's the thing. He did.
Yeah, that's true. But also, these guys are not the same level BJJ, and they don't have those long arms.
Yeah. So that's what I got for you. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this Mackson Lee kid, to me, he seems like the goods. I think he could be a star, but there's still like unknowns about him overall. I think his defense in the pocket is not the best at time. But obviously, he's a 6'1" bantamweight with a 75 inches of reach, which is insane. And he doesn't throw his jab all too much. But when he does, he has a nice jab. He goes to the body with it. Like you said, his spinning shit, he does too much of it. But when he go for it, he's I could see him getting like a spinning wall kick KOI, like real knockout here. Bam on their style against Roberts. I could see that, honestly. But yeah, now the grappling. I think Souza might try to grapple here, which I don't think that's going to be good because I don't think his top control is good. And I think that Lee's going to be able to get back up or use that against him to lock in the front choke because he's good with them. They're both BJJ brown belt. And yeah, Souza has been very active. I think that's his third fight in 2025, and he had like 4 in 2024. He's fighting from Ilia Topuria promotion. He's from Spain. He's a decent fighter. Don't get me wrong, but he can be taken down. He can be hurt on the feet. He's hittable. He's reckless. He's been knocked out before. Like you said, he's been in a lot of bad guillotine attempts. The guy Strauss had him in 2 guillotine attempts actually in round 1. He did escape, and Grandval had 2 tight attempts. He did escape, but again, those guys are not the same level as grappler, and they don't have the same finishing instincts with those front choke that Lee has. And he fought a guy named Bilal, which I think was pretty funny. I think that's actually like Chimaev cousin or something. He's from All Star.
Yeah, in Sweden. It is his cousin.
That's his cousin. Okay, yeah. So that guy, honestly, he's pretty good. Like, he's a good wrestler. You can see he's strong, but he's very small, and he gassed out in that fight, right? But that guy had him in a deep standing guillotine. That guy has no submission in his resume. So that's actually 3 times he's been in a bad front choke attempt. And Lee, with those, long arms, if that dude Souza is not careful, I think he's going to get submitted here. And on the feet, he needs to close the distance. I'll say, though, they both have very good calf kicks, but you can see Lee. I mean, they can both hurt people with calf kick, but I think Lee is more precise with them, and he doesn't throw them as recklessly that Souza does. And have you guys seen that liver punch that Lee goes through? Like, he's nasty with it. That liver shot he goes, he's pretty nasty. And also, I'm gonna say this dude that he beat on LFA, Suarez, right? Matthew Suarez. It's a good win, right? This guy's 9-2 now. He's a good fighter, honestly. And he hurt him bad with a spinning wall kick, and then he found a dart choke in that fight. And bro, the Suarez fight is the fight he hurt him with an uppercut, right? Correct, Key? Or am I tripping on the? I think the last fight is the one he hurt the guy with a spinning wall kick. The
last guy was spinning wheel kick.
Okay, yeah. So the Suarez fight was actually the uppercut, which was really fucking nasty. How he timed that uppercut was super precise, super good. And I can see Souza getting caught with something similar. When he goes in the pocket, Souza, he's decent offensively, but they both like defense. But I just think Lee, because of the size difference, going to be able to capitalize on those opportunities more. And I think that he's more likely to finish the fight if it goes on the ground. And if it goes all 15 minutes, it's probably going to be a war. But yeah, I think Lee's more likely to win big moments in the fight or hurt or knock out Souza, honestly. But really good fight. I'm excited to see how it's going to play out. I don't think Souza is bad, but I'm not impressed by him all that much, honestly. And I think Mackson Lee could be the goods as far as I'm concerned. So excited to see him. It's going to be like the biggest bantamweight in the UFC for sure. So what do you think, Keith?
Yeah, I don't like either guy here. I've seen a bunch of different people on Lee. And so I went into tape like really thinking like, okay, this kid must be the goods. And I don't think that he's really that good. One, limited tape, like everybody's talking like we've seen so much of him, but like we really haven't seen that much of him. And it's funny that like we're questioning other people's amount of tape, but like this guy we've seen within the past however many years, we've seen him for like maybe 15, 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the other fights are highlights. I think there's 3 full fights, and the others are just highlights of him. The other fights, basically, he's taking people down, he's getting on top, and he's doing ground.
Yeah, they're 0-0 guys. Like he's
it's bad company.
Kind of like it is what it is. So it's like, okay, we've only seen him 2 times really against anybody real. And both guys just looked like that they were just clueless due to the size. And a lot of bantamweights are. And I'm not I enjoy longer strikers at these weight classes specifically. I think that it can be cool. But Maxim, it seems like it's. I think that he probably is better off developing in the 145. Being completely honest, I think that he has some defensive habits that can be bad with tall man's defense. But I also think that his process at range is just kind of flawed. I mean, if I watched him throw 10,000 fucking spinning kicks for no reason sometimes. Like sometimes there was just not even a real good setup or anything. He's just throwing it to throw it. So that just is not much of an educated striking game, and he kind of just is a size bully, if I'm being honest. It's not like he's a guy like Bob Moondays who uses his size to overwhelm guys with a bunch of different attacks and volume and just throws a lot at you. Maxim picks his shots, and I do think that his calf kick is really good. I do like the fact that he will at least sometimes jab to the body. That shows me that he's thinking at least a little bit. Like Drive mentioned in one of the finishing sequences, he did rip to the body really well with that left hook. So there are things to like about his game. It's not like he's just absolutely awful or a complete fraud or anything. I just don't know how good he is. And that's due to the fact that we haven't seen him a lot against real people. And everybody just looks clueless at range. Like everybody just kind of waiting because they don't know what to do with a guy that long. So I think that the guy has solid traits. I haven't seen him get touched up by something big and see what his chin and durability looks like. Typically, guys at these types of heights in these lower weight classes, whenever you're killing yourself like this, typically the durability isn't the greatest, but who knows what this kid's durability looks like. So again, there's so many more questions. I have more questions than I have answers. And if that's the case, I'm not looking to back at chalk. I do think that he gets it done because Sosa, I don't think that Sosa's that good either. I think that he's fighting not the greatest competition. And granted, they're real people, but not the greatest competition. And I believe that defensively, he is a mess, like chin wide open, up in the air, and he's trying to exit out. Like it's not good pivoting. There was one sequence that he literally just arms wide as hell, chin up. He's just backing up as fast as he can.
Yeah, that's not gonna work here. Like
that is the type of shit that runs you in if set up correctly and not thrown 1,000 times before. That is the type of shit that runs you into a spinning back kick. Like that is what creates a highlight KO. So I don't think that Sosa's that good. Sad story with his dad and stuff. So I'm rooting for him. And I believe somebody else died in his family earlier too. So guy's just been dealing with a lot. So respect to him for continuing on with the fight and going after it. I hope that he gets it done. But pick wise, I go Mackson. I think that he does have upside long term. Like I said, I just have a lot of questions about him at this stage. And I think that his process is kind of flawed. And I would like to see more education in his striking. So for me, it's a pass. But Mackson, I think, gets it done.
All right, that's the show. We'll do this real quick. McCory win. When fight McCory.
Yeah, we
this guy's name is John, so let's be careful about what we say. Being said, probably cooks your boy. Then Peg's reaction. Yes, the Bucks did win, and I also needed 5 points from Bucky Irving to win my fantasy league, and the 1 yard line they gave it to Rashad White. Cycle parlay.
No,
God. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. I would do it if you guys want, but
no, there's not even props out there.
Mackson sub, Mackson hitting that spinning back kick KO. No, I honestly think I like the sub angle better. What's wrong with Jun? Jun tends to be a South Korean or a Korean first name, and I figure that's why he's saying McCory when fight McCory, and then whatever symbol this shit is. So I don't know what he's trying to send my way, but who knows? That could also just been prejudiced by me, if you will. All right, that's the show. Any other questions, or are we good to go here?
No, make sure you sub up. Drives got a lot of bets for Day White Contender Series. Peg's dropping shit in the BTL Discord, a lot of stuff. I got over 5 units out on UFC Perth already. up a good amount already this month. So I think that we're all on a roll and going to keep it rolling. So
all right,
sub up now.
All right, perfect. Let's end the stream before 60 minutes. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Join the Discord. Discord link is below. Come talk fights with us. Come bet NFL. It's fun. Later.